Yes.
Am I counting?
Yes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
That was good. That was good.
So. I think that was great.
Okay, welcome to Good Not Great, episode 6. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the day
impressed.
that it all changes. Right?
It took 6 episodes. We made it.
Yeah, so a lot has happened in the past week. We've got some good topics. We've got some great beers to drink, I think. And let's just start it off with that.
Yeah.
What do you got today?
I am finally drinking. So this was given to me by Ming at a Shared Universe podcast studio. This is from Ross Brewing. It's called Passaic Porter. It's a honey porter with vanilla and cacao. And so far I like it. I've been wanting to try this for a long time. And here it is.
Can we get some clarity on what cacao is?
I'll do my best. Cacao is like what chocolate is made from, right? Cacao is like the origination of chocolate.
What is cocoa?
Is it just like the same thing, just Americanized, maybe?
Ice-T's wife.
That took me a second. Yeah, so I think, I wonder if it's like, no, I don't know. I have no idea. They're too similar of words to not be like, one's like the bastardized version of the other, maybe?
Want me to pull up the real definition?
Yeah, could you?
That'd be good.
That's going to drive me crazy because I'm guessing at this point. Let's see. What else can I tell you about it?
Passaic River.
A chocolate powder made from roasted and ground cacao seeds.
See?
Oh,
That is
cocoa is from cacao.
It is derived from it, yeah.
Okay. Whenever anyone says cacao, I'm like, oh, you're being fancy.
That's just like the fancier version of cocoa.
Yeah, this guy thinks he's cool.
This is 6.1% ABV, 22 IBU, 34 SRM.
How many PTRs?
You know what? It just doesn't say it.
Now, what I got here, I picked up today. This is an NJ Beer Co. Vintage Station Wagon New England Style IPA. Now, New England Style IPAs have been getting some crap lately.
Really?
Yeah. I think that there are some people that are over it. IPAs in general, not over. New England Style IPAs are over for some people. This is a 6% alcohol New England Style IPA, and I bought it because there's a station wagon on here. But one thing I tend to buy beers that give off like a camping vibe.
Okay.
You know that I like all day IPA, you know, and I like.
I almost bought that today.
Just the idea that, you know, like I'm going to sit down around a campfire and I'm going to have a couple of these.
Yeah.
Now, what's weird about this label for me, and I know like we have a history of talking about labels, so hopefully this is okay, is that is vectorized, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Doesn't it go against the whole like cool,
like hand-drawn,
old school hand-drawn vibe? Anyway.
Well, it depends on who's making. The thing that's weird about this one is that the car is floating. The shadow isn't touching the wheels, so it looks like the car is floating above it.
That's definitely true.
Right, like when you walk.
Yeah, shadow should always touch.
Yeah,
the
like
thing it's
the
coming
shadow
from.
originates from underneath the thing that's creating the shadow, or at least that's how it's supposed to look.
Although on you guys are maybe doing a ghost podcast, I heard.
I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
You can maybe investigate when shadows separate from.
I want to go to a haunted house.
We've been trying to plan that since before COVID started, man.
I
want to.
When it's time.
How do you know that it's verified haunted? Like, is my house haunted?
No.
You've got to have 100 years of people being like, that shit's haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It has to be legend at a certain, like at a certain point it becomes legend, and then you don't have to question it anymore. It's like that, please. Like
there's like a certain number, or a certain percentage of people that come out alive, and based on that percentage.
I'm pretty sure everybody comes out alive from a haunted house, which is why I'm a skeptic. That is the leading reason for why I'm a skeptic. Either that or ghosts are just harmless. And
yeah, that would make you skeptical of scary ghosts, not necessarily all ghosts.
Like the movies that you see where like it's that one edge case where like a ghost kills a bunch of people. Like where's that edge case in the real world? When has that ever happened?
They wouldn't make movies about the standard case. Except Casper, which is we can all agree is a great movie.
It's a callback, right? We talked about that
It's
2 or 3 episodes ago.
I think like it would not be a stretch to say that part of the reason that like I'm an engineer is because of the opening scene of that movie where they brush the teeth, you do the hair.
That's more of like a mechanical engineer, though, right?
Yeah, but
Or
I mean
that-
like the
that works
reason
for your
that
brain.
like my mind like wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when but when I was little, so you're sorry, Mom, again.
It's not an episode without Sorry Mom.
When I was growing up, I was getting into computers, and I kept asking my mom like, what can I make? What can I make?
Mm-hmm.
And she used to always say the same thing, which was make me a computer that can wipe my butt.
Somebody figured it out.
You know, but Casper's dad, or the guy that was in the inventor,
Yeah.
I don't remember their relationship. He could have made it.
Well, that was the weird part about the movie is that I forget like the plot now. The weird part is like who was the guy, because
I don't remember.
I can't remember the thing that
I
was.
know that
There's like a plot hole in there.
at some point the guy comes alive for a second, or Casper comes alive. Someone comes alive. Anyway,
This is going great.
Yeah.
Chris,
Hello.
I'd love to hear what you're drinking because Chris brought I think 2 beers with him.
Oh.
I
and
did.
I'd love to hear it, and then
yeah, I'm gonna give my review.
right,
Oh,
okay.
please go ahead.
This is the K Thanks by Industrial Arts Brewing Company. It's a wheat ale brewed with sweet potatoes and cranberry puree with a 6.2 alcohol by volume for this pint. It was brewed in November.
Unusual ingredients.
How is it? What do you think?
It is absolutely wild. This is my second, and I'm not a fan of sweet potatoes. I'll be real with you.
I'm not either.
But in this case, the earthiness of it, like the natural sugars and earthiness combined with the cranberry puree in the brewing process, it's tart, but it's still a wheat ale at heart. But it feels like it's really great. It's a full flavor.
So you said this is your second. Have you had it before today, or is this like the first time you tried it?
No. Every time I go to get a craft beer, I usually try something different.
Nice. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
That's a good idea.
I feel like we're trying to do that here, but we end up having some crossover, especially with because we buy a lot from the breweries that are on the platform. So when they have a release, we want to drink it, we want to talk about it. So sometimes we drink from the same brewery, different beer, same brewery.
And sometimes a brewery just puts out
They just put out some good stuff.
what I will say certified banger. Is that right?
We're
believe-
appealing to the millennial.
put-
No,
In the
But
biz,
as-
it's called Magic.
They put out some magic. They put out Lil Squeezy.
what's the generation below ours?
Wait, below ours, like
Below
younger than
millennials?
ours?
Younger.
Younger
Gen
than
Z?
ours is Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Yes.
So you're
Yeah.
appealing to the Gen Zers with the banger stuff.
He's right here.
I'm a millennial.
Are you
Are you?
millennial?
Yeah, I was born in
It's a
1995.
it's a big band.
Anything after like 2000.
Oh, okay.
They let anybody
Or
be a
1998.
millennial these days.
One or the other.
I think it counts.
We're
Regardless, I'm still in your age range.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where. I actually
Did
don't
you
know where
watch
people
Doug
draw the
when
line.
you were little? Did
Yeah.
you ever- yeah. See,
I know about Doug Funny, Patty
That's it.
Mayonnaise.
Patty Mayonnaise.
How about
You
Tommy
got it.
Pickles?
Damn straight.
All right.
I got a screwdriver in
Certified.
my diaper.
There we go.
Industrial
Certified, yeah.
Arts, I gotta say, is a very solid brewery. Obviously, Wrench is like a so good.
Oh my god.
But they're always doing like fun, unique things.
When
I
I
like
saw
the
this-
honeycomb style is cool.
I was just like, that is the strangest ingredient list for a wheat ale
Yeah.
that I've seen.
So, I gotta say on this, I'm into it. I think NJ Beer Co. is in North Bergen, and I will say, yep, it still has. I mean, it's that like a little cloudy. You can taste, you can taste it,
Is it?
and I still don't know.
So any IPA is like, I don't know if any IPA and hazy IPA are different things.
No.
Or if hazy's just like referencing the way it looks.
The aesthetic of it, right?
Yeah. Like
Yeah, you
hazy's
get that
not like-
cloudiness. You can't
hazy's
see
not
through
a
it.
style. It's like,
I think they're pretty much referencing the
Yeah.
same idea. Yeah.
I guess it doesn't have to be any IPA to be a hazy IPA. Like there can be other hazy IPAs that are not that style. Is what I'm guessing.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
Great. So let's jump into some topics.
Yeah. I thought we could spend a little bit of time talking about some of the releases that came out this week on Beer Broadcast. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
Because we got some pretty exciting new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Old Hights, who's a new brewery on the platform. They did their first release. They're located in Hightstown, New Jersey.
Yep.
Colin and I actually went there the other day to do our first pickup. We picked up 2 beers. I think it's called 1712. I didn't write it down. I'm not just like saying I think and then like looking at it. I don't have it.
I have
1712, which is a Helles style lager, and then also a Sunday Sunday special, and that's a coffee oatmeal stout.
And I'm drinking that today.
The beers were great, and I will also say the back patio that we got to sit on, just really nice. So they have there's a front parking lot, and it's super nondescript, and then you walk around the back, and there's this great patio.
Yeah, I think the way you described it, we pulled into the parking lot. You're like, we have to do this, and then we have to do this. I was like, I don't believe you, because it looks like we just pulled into like an industrial park. Because it's just this big empty parking lot with like buildings that have no windows on either side in that parking lot. I'm like, where are we? Are we about to like pick out a bulldozer or something? It felt like we were in some type of...
Pick out a bulldozer.
Yeah, like a garage was going to open. It was just going to be like a bunch of bulldozers and we could buy one or something. It didn't feel like a place that has a
this
brewery.
is just like a side trip real quick. I got to pick up a bulldozer.
Well, you basically did buy a bulldozer yesterday, so...
I did. I got a new truck. It's real big. It's awesome. It's the coolest truck ever. We can talk about the truck sometime. So we went up there. We got a chance to meet the owners. We sat with the heater. What,
really...
you laughing at my passcode?
Yeah.
It's not good.
I'm not going to say it out loud.
Yeah. Don't say it.
No, he just taps it a bunch of times and it just works every time.
He just taps in a very particular order over and over again.
As long as the passcode literally is not for strangers. It's for my kids.
Oh, that makes sense.
So as long as they don't figure it out, we're good.
So everybody knows where you live. They know what you do and do not lock in your
They know I got a new car.
house. Yeah, this is...
Yeah, it's perfect. So we also had another new release from another new brewery. This release is from 18th Ward, which is based in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
Also our first New York brewery.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting. They released a winter IPA, which I'm not quite sure what that would be. I guess I know a winter ale, so it'd probably be like a winter ale done in the style of an IPA. They released a Russian Imperial Stout, which is awesome, probably right up your alley. We got to take a trip up to Brooklyn, and they released a Pilsner, which is always good.
And they released it in an interesting way that I haven't seen anybody else do before. They released it as either a single 4-pack or a case, which is a common term that people use in craft beer. I don't know if it's outside of craft beer or not, but a case is basically 6 4-packs, I think. Right? Or 4...
It is
something.
6 4-packs or 4 6-packs.
Yeah, something like that. And
24 beers.
So you can buy, and it was like unlimited, like it was pretty cool. I haven't seen get to 18th Ward now.
Yeah.
Or order it on Beer Broadcast first and then get to 18th Ward is what I'm trying to say. But
it looks great. I lived there. I've
Yeah.
never been to the brewery. I had never even heard of it really until they signed up, and I'm excited to get up there and try it out.
Yeah. I think they're doing the right things. They've got I talked to the two. I'm assuming they're both co-founders or co-owners of it, but I talked to them. They're really cool guys, really nice guys. They
Shout out blank and blank. Put you on the spot.
If you gave me more time and if I didn't feel like I was under pressure, I could get it. But no, they're.
This is
the first episode that we edit.
Yeah, this is the first episode we had.
No, they were really cool. They seem like they're really into what they're doing, and they're like just now starting to kind of hit the ground running and just selling like crazy. So
Awesome.
I'm pretty excited for them and want to see what they do next.
With the big truck, we can just fill the entire back.
We should just
with the
go
unlimited
drive
cases.
around New Jersey and then drive around New York. Maybe drive around Pennsylvania.
That's an interesting topic that we haven't really touched on very much. Is the beer mule scene?
Yeah. I was just thinking about that when I said it too. That's
Yeah, I mean, like, it makes sense. So basically, to describe what goes on here, first, a little side story, just like everything I say. The first side story is that there's a
your
guy
dog peeing in your mom's drink.
that wants to go there. Apparently, there's people in Canada that are obsessed with Trader Joe's. So
Okay.
there's this guy. They call him, I think, Pirate Joe. And what he does is he drives down to America, buys a bunch of Trader Joe's stuff, goes back and resells it. So a beer mule is that guy for beer.
Yeah.
So you're in one area maybe with good beer, and you are buying a bunch of it and then going to a different area that has not that beer, and then you're reselling it, normally with a markup or delivery fee for each can or for each 4-pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's pretty popular.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like people are doing it internationally as well, we've heard.
Yeah, they're sending it internationally. I mean, there's also, like, if you send it through the mail, which I'm guessing you're doing if you do it internationally, questionable, either way, it's questionable legality. Meaning, like, it's not legal.
Which, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't, so I was just talking about this, I don't think I was talking to you about this, but I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, how it doesn't make sense to me that wineries can ship their wine bottles anywhere in the country, but craft breweries cannot. And what I heard is that it's something related to, like, the lobbies, and the wine lobbies are pushing really hard for that, and so they've succeeded in that. I guess whoever represents craft breweries is not doing as good of a job or something. I'm not trying to put words in somebody's mouth or anything, but it doesn't sound like they are able to get over those restrictions as easily or as quickly.
And it kind of sucks for a brewery because, I mean, not only are you losing out on a potential direct sale, but you're and maybe like your local fans are not having the ability to purchase the beer that they otherwise would, but also, like, who knows what happens? Like, someone could be taking that can, dumping it out or drinking it, and then refilling it with something else and just, like, reclosing it. So
especially
you
with
never
the
know what
bottle.
you're gonna get. Yeah, especially with the bottle, you could just recap it. I was telling a story to Colin the other day where we were in Brussels, and I was trying to buy West Vleteren, which is like a internationally famous, amazing beer from a Trappist brewery in Belgium. And I mean, it's impossible to get because there it's considered like a gray market item because you're technically only allowed to buy it at the brewery.
Mm-hmm.
So anywhere you find it is questionable. You know, even if you go to a bar and it's on the menu, who knows if it's the real stuff?
Yeah. I guess the people selling it, or at least selling what they claim is it, know that they can get top dollar for something. As long as they just say that we swear this is the thing, it's going to take somebody who really knows that beer really well to catch somebody who's lying. Otherwise, it's probably like tourists or somebody who just doesn't know a lot about beer. And, like, how would they know the difference? Like, it's either Bud Light or it's something made by monks. Like, who knows? You know, if you don't know, I don't know. I would go and I'd say, sure, I just spent $50 on the beer and I got this beer that everybody talks about. The story's crazy. It's great. Whatever.
Yeah, because you'd be so, like, ready to amp it up.
Yeah. In my head, I'd be like,
just totally threw me for a loop by telling me that Bud Light isn't made by monks, which is a total just
Budweiser not a Trappist.
how could it not be though? I mean,
that's unreal. That's fake news.
I mean, it's not proven to not be made by monks. I think most beers are not verified not made by monks.
That's
so
right.
We can assume that they're all made by monks.
There are sacred beer monks, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true.
It's like Santa Claus.
Did you see that shredder?
What?
So shredder, get it?
It's a shredder.
Yeah.
What?
Beer.
I can't see anything.
So if you're listening to the podcast today and you are a senator, governor, or president, just work on this shit, right?
Yeah, for real. Let's get beer delivered to people's homes.
If you're a congressman, just call a senator. Call a senator. Have them. No, if you're a congressman.
If you're a politician of any sort that can, like, make things happen, and you're not
rolling?
What?
Get the ball
rolling.
Yeah, get the ball rolling, sure. And you like beer, or don't, but you believe in equality of beverage preference shipping. And you're not in Pennsylvania already because they already have it, and we don't need to beat it.
We want to go there. We want to be a platform where you can ship beer.
Yeah.
How great would that be?
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
That's what we're working
You know what?
towards.
Don't change the laws.
We'll change the laws.
We'll change the laws.
Is that right?
We got it. Yeah. Yeah. It's a long game, but I'm going to run for president.
Yeah?
Yep.
What's going to be your first executive
Change
order?
the laws.
Perfect.
And then I resigned.
You're not going to do that at any stage before becoming president? Like,
No.
Well, you probably have to be a senator for 20 years. Like,
No.
You're not going to... No.
I'll vote for him. Done.
Thank you.
I will too.
I appreciate it.
But I would just hope that he could get it done a little bit quicker than, like, presidency. Like, if he spends 10 years in the Senate or wherever, I don't know even who makes decisions.
Years of politics, man. They take a while to turn.
It's true. It's true.
I have some things that are really interesting because, like, okay, I looked up some stats related to this. I have them.
hear
These
it.
I do have on here.
Let's hear it.
So in 2018, 24% of the total beer market by dollar amount was craft beer. And that amounts to about $29 billion. And it's grown year over year since then. And actually, by volume, it's 13.6%. So 13.6% of all the beers and 25% of all the beer dollars are for craft beer. So it's not a small industry, and they project that. So if it's $29 billion, they project that it could grow up to like $150 billion by 2027.
Well, I'm sure it's higher than that.
Doesn't make any sense. Just like thinking about it, like how could it grow that much? There's not enough room for it to grow.
Yeah.
But when you think about like market by dollar amount, there actually is plenty of room for it to grow to be that big. So I would imagine that as the industry grows, the more kind of influence and the more there will be things like beer lobbies that can
I hope so.
kind of make good case for things like shipping.
But think about how much beer. So, like, what we learned is that a lot of beer that goes through a distributor, oftentimes it gets sent back to the brewery. So, a lot of those sales, I wonder if those are from numbers that happened with the distributor but didn't necessarily get sold on the shelves. And I don't know if that's true. Like, that's speculation. But, like, are they stopping it at the sale point from the brewery to the distributor, from the distributor to the liquor store? Are they not accounting for all of the money that didn't actually get made because the beer got returned to the brewery, and then a credit was given back to the distributor? And so what I'm wondering is, like, would this beer all get returned if the reach was wider? If they could ship their beer across the country,
Yeah.
and it didn't sit on shelves in the
It's
back
all about
of
supply and demand, baby. Right?
Sure, but if you had enough supply, and your demand just happened to not be within a 20-mile radius of where your brewery is, how much more do you think they could sell? And I think the answer is a lot. So that's maybe where it can scale to, or why it can scale so high, is because of laws changing and the projections sort of going up with those laws changing.
Yeah.
So
We're just at the beginning here, it seems like. Right?
I think so. I think it's going to happen. I'm going to predict
And
in the
COVID's not helping.
next 2 years it'll happen.
There's so Hill Farmstead announced that they're closing in until March. And it's like, that's like a big craft brewery, not hurting for any kind of attention, publicity,
Yeah.
anyone coming to the brewery. And like COVID has them shut down until March. So you got to think like what is going to happen to year over year numbers for craft beer. Got to be on the decline for a bit. A lot of places are going to close, unfortunately.
Yeah. And that's just breweries too, right? Like,
It's insane. Yeah.
there's bars that
Even
are
the
closing.
amount of bars that bars that we went to.
And they're like iconic places, not iconic like around the country, but like iconic to the local community. Like they are the last one you'd expect to close down, but then
The John Carpezzi Chicken Dance was invented at downtown. It should be on the National Register of Historic Places, and instead it's closed.
I think what's going to have to happen is when downtown inevitably gets reopened or bought or whatever by somebody.
We should buy it and rename it Uptown.
All right, we'll work towards that. But when it does reopen, if it's not by us, we're going to have to go back in and explain to them the history that exists there, particularly around the John Carpezzi Chicken Dance. And we're going to have to maybe try and find some videos or
Get
pictures.
a sign,
Or we might have to do a reenactment of
mini statue.
Ooh. Can you do a reenactment of the John Carpezzi Chicken Dance right now?
No, I can't. I did think of another impression, though.
Wait, don't. I think we can peer pressure you enough into doing it
Yeah.
right now.
No.
Chris?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's gonna take a minute.
We have 2 more beers. 3 more beers.
Yeah.
We
I
have
think what
time.
he's saying is he needs one more beer,
That's
and
fine.
then
We'll get there.
we'll get it. And that's fine.
I'm gonna give you a beer.
Okay, I'll get you yours. I feel bad because the one I'm going to give you is not.
Did you drink that one?
a
What's
16
going
ounce.
on there?
Yeah, it's almost done.
Okay. Now I got you this.
Wait
And
a
I'm
minute.
pretty
Okay, yeah.
excited about it. What?
No,
Did we
I
get
thought
the
it
same
said-
thing?
No, I thought it said something else.
No, I think you're going to like this.
I think I am too.
Well, then why'd you look at it like that?
Because I thought it said Cigar City, and that's...
Oh, yeah.
So I got you a... Well, you do yours first, and I'll do...
Yeah, so what I got you here is a Cape May Brewing beer. I love Cape May Brewing. I went down... Have you ever been there?
No.
Really fun. They are in the... I don't know what to call it. The parking lot of a municipal airport.
Sure.
So there's like, you know how there's those couple buildings that should be like for your airplane doesn't have wheels. It doesn't have wings. Here's the wing store. This is in the place where the wing store should be. Because the wing store closed because it turns out all the planes
Already have
them.
They're built with them.
So it's there, but they've like done a really nice thing inside. They have a
Okay.
great, like really large back patio. They have a really nice, for back when breweries in New Jersey had to do like tours for you to get in, they have this great like tour setup that you kind of walk through on your way into the brewery, which is also like where all the brewing equipment is. And my favorite is that Coastal Evacuation Double IPA. I think it's just so good.
Did they have that at the... whatever the beer fest thing was at
They did, yeah.
Bell Labs
Yeah.
just before
Yep.
we were there, like a day before COVID happened, and
We didn't get it.
we didn't get.
Oh, we got
COVID.
all the beers.
Yeah,
We went all the
We got
beers,
the beers,
multiple times.
not
yeah.
COVID, right?
And we set up like a bunch of times to talk to people. We're like, we're going to come by the brewery tomorrow. And then it was like, the lights went
Lights
down.
go down,
Yeah. Okay, so what is this? What is this?
Let's see.
It says, it's called Ties the Room Together. It is a white cream stout. And a white cream stout is brewed with coffee beans, cocoa nibs, not cacao nibs, lactose, and vanilla.
Wow.
I think it's 8.5% alcohol, and it caught my eye because of the. You know how like there's dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate. I thought that might be this vibe.
Okay.
That with the vanilla, that it would have a little bit something extra for you.
Okay. I'm into it. I think it looks cool. I think it sounds good. Let me move that over. Turn this around. All right. So yours. I don't think I'm gonna say it right, but Jai-Lai?
That's
Jai-Lai?
correct. No, it's correct.
Okay. All
You
right.
got it. You nailed it.
Or it's High-Lai. I'm getting some skepticism.
We're here in a gray area, guys.
It's got to say it on the back. It's got
I
to
gave
have like
three
the,
Phonetic.
Yeah, over the line over the A. Hi.
High-Lai sounds way cooler.
Yeah, let's go with Highlight.
Okay.
You know,
So-
put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Question of the day.
We've had 0 comments on our video so far. This is going to be the first one.
We had no comments on all the videos. Something about like episode 3 just sparked a flurry of comments. We got just a bunch on one episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, wait. On which platform?
Instagram.
Oh,
And
I
if
don't-
you're a sometimes commenter, sometimes listener, we like.
Be an always commenter.
Be an always commenter, sometimes listener.
Was the comment, fuck that guy behind the boards? I don't want to hear about beer.
No, it was, I think it was it the Fat Baby Jesus one or something else?
Oh, the sweet baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
It's so good.
I almost
It's-
got you something like that.
That's why I want beer to be shipped throughout the country. Anyway, this is High-Lai.
High-Lai.
This is an IPA by Cigar City Brewing. 7.5 ABV. This is brewed with 6 hop varieties. And the reason that I thought this was going to be something you'd be into is because it was described as very like hop forward.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think you have described it. You've probably had it before. Now that I'm
No, I have had it, but I've never. I don't think I've ever had it and thought about it. You know,
Okay.
like and like sat down and really got to have it. So thank you, I appreciate it.
yeah.
And we should say where they are too. Where are they? Tampa, Florida. That's can we do?
The sound effects in here are unreal.
The shared universe.
Oh yeah, my other impression. See if you can tell what this is.
Ooh, that's interesting. That tastes like a root beer lollipop.
Root beer lollipop.
It just changed. It started as that, and then
What did it change to?
It evolved. I don't know.
He's
good,
gonna
though.
have to drink some more.
Yeah.
This is good. If you like IPAs, I will say one thing about this is it's a little sweet tasting for me. That would be my thing. I think that comes with the citrus forward of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Clementine, orange peel, caramel malt. Oh, caramel malt. So it's a little sweet for me. I like a little bit more bitter, but it's good. I could drink these forever.
Really?
I could just drink this.
I've got 4 more. You can take them.
Wait, what happened to the? What happened to the other one?
What other one?
You can't buy a
No,
five,
they sell them in 5-packs now.
5-packs.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, they sell them in 5-packs. There's
That's very cool.
It's unusual, but it makes it a little bit more affordable.
Shout out to my friends doing dry January.
Dry January. What's that?
Yeah.
I like the look around the room because all of us are sitting here not following dry January. We're like, what is dry January?
It's always the beginning of the year, and I'm like, that's a cool idea. And then like I'm like looking at I'm like thinking of it while drinking a beer.
I learned about it halfway through the month.
Could you run that by me? I'm not sure what that is for real.
It's the idea that
He knows
people
more.
think either they drink too much or they that they weigh too much. So they for the month of January are just for January I'm not going to drink,
Okay.
which is totally fine, totally acceptable.
What I
totally
don't understand is that there's
good
also
idea.
sober October. So which one's the
It's
original?
like the beard thing. You can really make a case for any month being it. Is it No Shave November? Is it Beard you worry? Like, what's it called? I don't-
Yeah, the other one. What's that other one called?
there is another
It's called
one.
Barch.
I don't remember. So there's another one. Bearduary.
November.
Barch.
That's November too.
I know. I think there's only 2, and I think they both happen in November. Clearly, we're all participating in No Shave.
Bit of a carryover.
No Shave New Year. Mm-hmm. Is that?
Yeah,
4
that's the
years.
other one I was thinking about. So, yeah, people are doing this. It's good. I personally think that New Year's resolutions should start. I always try to start mine in February.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a smart move.
I don't know if is did I come up with that? I don't. Have you heard that before?
I haven't heard it before, but I think it's a smart move because you get all like hyped up by all the other people trying to do really good things with their lives in January, and then by February they're all done with it because they either failed or like got tired of it. And then by February you can be like, okay, did I really want to sign up for that gym membership? And then you're like, yep, I still want to do it. It's not just January 1st motivating me.
And you get an empty gym when you start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to wait for those few weeks to pass, and then you get to
Cheap
go in by yourself.
memberships. Yeah. I want to shout out my friend Brian Dawson. Definitely not listening, but coolest person alive.
Lead character in Dawson's Creek, I'm guessing.
No,
No.
that's his brother.
Dawson.
So, Brian, one day, I used to get super into New Year's resolutions, and I would write them all down on a paper, and I would write like, my big thing was that they had to be like measurable.
That's
you
such
know?
a software engineer thing to do.
Yeah, because if you set a goal and it's like, I want to lose weight, it's like that's not. You can say whether or not you did it, but like saying I want to weigh X by X date, that's an actual goal. That's something you can track
Your
against.
OKRs.
Yeah, because if you can't check in whether you're on track, then you're probably not going to get there. You know, because a lot of goals are a year long. So you want to get to 10 museums. Like the way that everyone does that is like, it's 10 days before the end of the year, and they're like, "Oh shit,
Go cram
like,
it
I
in.
gotta do it."
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you have 10 and you know that you should roughly go to like one a month or something.
Yeah.
So I'd get super into them, and then one day I was telling Brian about them, and he's like, why don't instead of waiting to the new year, why don't you just do it right now?" And I was like, well, fuck.
Wow,
But he's
Brian, I guess you're fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way to be real deep, Ryan. That's,
he's right.
And thoughtful. I mean, that's like, why not
And
start
he can
right
make
away?
this face where he's like, he does like a face where it's like he wasn't asking it to be like rude. He was just
Right.
kind of saying like Like literally just asking.
Was he asking it like he was trying to motivate you and like get you to really think about it?
No.
Was he like
Genuine
just like
curiosity.
I just don't understand?
Absolute
Yeah.
genuine curiosity, and I, like
That's probably the most powerful feedback from someone who's like
amazing.
who just doesn't understand why you just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and he wasn't trying to say you should do it now. He was just saying like, why don't you?
Wow,
Right.
that's
it's just like,
too
damn.
real. Brian, that's a real one.
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah. Let's bring Brian on the show. Let's see what we can learn
Oh,
from
if
him.
you could get Brian on the show, everyone's gonna listen. Brian's amazing.
Great. We've got a space right here. We can fill him in right here.
Brian's real good. He took me to my first SantaCon too in New York City, first and only.
Why only?
Smells weird.
What?
It smells weird.
Yeah,
Smells
well,
weird, yeah.
I bet. I mean, you're barfing in your mask or in your
Nope,
beard
no
all day.
barfing.
Barfing in your beard.
No
Some
barfing.
of those Santas are barfing in their beards.
Oh, I saw some barfing for sure.
It's from SantaCon
Absolutely.
in their beards.
Not in their beards.
That's
I just
good,
saw
I
some
guess.
very, very, like people attend. It was
be
bad.
fun. Let's-
And then one time we walked into a bar, and there was like a person that didn't have clothes, and they were on like a swing, and the swing was swinging over the entire bar,
This was just a regular bar.
and we were just like, oh, wrong place, and
Were
we
you
just
at
turned around.
Lucky 13?
Do you know that place in Brooklyn?
I played there.
That is not the place, but it's so funny that you say that
Oh my
because
God.
one time
Same
for my
idea.
birthday, and I was with my wife and Abby. Shout out Abby, have to say it.
I didn't know, but after 9, it
And
gets funky.
I was like, you have to go to this place because I love this place because it's like sometimes they play punk music. It's cool in here. So, but it was like 2 a.m. So we opened the door to Lucky 13, and literally there's a girl on. They have a stripper pole at the end of the bar, and she's on it, just sliding down like this, full like spread eagle. And my wife and she's like, oh, you, because I had been talking the place up like for a mile walk. We walk in and she's doing that, and I was just like, it must have been like around the corner or
must have
something.
changed
She's like, you said the name
management.
like 100 times. I was like, oh, this is not it.
I am so sorry to interject, but I went there, played a show there because it's awesome. It's an awesome bar. It's like
It's like a biker bar.
Yeah, it's so cool. I don't know why we were invited.
That's
to
so
play
funny
there.
you know that,
And
too.
invited back to play
I lived
there.
like 4 blocks away
John,
from there.
we're best
Yeah.
friends now.
Oh.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna leave. You guys can just take over
No,
the
both
podcast.
you-
I'm going to be on the Ghost
Podcast.
podcast.
Both of you were coming.
Oh, come on. That's like my dream.
But after we finished playing the show, we were like, oh, it's late, we're loading at the gear, and all of a sudden we see that they're going to town, and they're also your bartenders, which is wild. They're not just playing on the pole, they're bartending. And I
Taking
was
breaks
just
in between.
red-faced the whole time, loading out my gear, just like, oh my God, what's going on this? I drank off that bar.
God.
It's messed up. Yeah.
That's-
'Cause it's
wild.
also, it's not a.
These
it's
aren't
not
even
a
the same
strip
bars
club.
either that you're talking about.
No, it's not a strip
They
It's
club.
not
just
a
happen
strip
to be.
club.
No, it's the same place.
It's like
This
a,
is the same place?
It is
It's
the
like a
same place.
Coyote
Okay.
Ugly style
Yeah.
thing, but like Coyote Ugly, if it was like bikers and metal, so like
You can
it's
smoke
not a
joints
it's not a
out there.
full
It's
strip
wild.
club, but like they will like pour your drink and then jump up on the bar and like dance around for a
Correct,
bit.
for tips, yeah.
Yeah,
I have been to a Coyote Ugly in Austin.
a real Coyote Ugly.
Well,
Well, the real one's in New York, right?
I don't know. I don't know anything
There's some
about
debate.
where
Where's
the real
original
one is, but
Coyote Ugly?
Chicago?
This one was in Austin, Texas. It was on like
Which
the
one does
main-
Madonna work at? Is it Madonna?
No.
Who is it? Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Austin.
Wait, now I'm wondering where Madonna works. It's in Austin, Texas.
Moulin Rouge. Okay.
But it was really, really depressing. We went in. So this was a work trip. You were there.
I was there. I was at the piano bar.
Yeah,
That's where I live.
which was pretty incredible.
Pete's.
Pete's Dueling Pianos, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Real good. You been there?
You been there? Yeah.
Yeah, that place is great.
So then you weren't very far from the Coyote Ugly. Is it Coyote Ugly? Yeah. Wait, was it Austin? I don't know.
You
I think it
came
was
over to
Austin, Texas.
Pete's and we had like
Yeah.
150 people.
We closed the place
Goodness.
down. We had like an entire half of the place. And if you've been there, you know how big the place is. We had half the place full. And it was amazing. But afterwards we a small group of us left and we just kind of like wandered. and we found, I think it was Coyote Ugly, I think. And we went in and we were like, oh, this is going to be so cool. It's just like the movie. Dead. And it was like the streets were like packed full of people. Like it was, right? Like wasn't
Yeah.
Austin
Yeah, no,
really
it
busy
was a
that
busy
time?
night, yeah.
And we walked in and this place was empty. And it was like really sad. The two bartenders who were working there.
Everyone was at the piano bar.
Well, yeah, but you'd think that like some of the other thousands of people on the street would be like in this bar having a good time. It was empty and it was so depressing. And like the two bartenders like tried to get up on the bar and dance, and we were all just like being like tech nerds, like off into the corner, like talking about spreadsheets or something stupid and unrelated.
I love my Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah. I'm like, do you think that
It
this is
doesn't
going to
even have JavaScript.
How do we make this compile faster? Like it was not the scene that I was expecting.
Did they spin the bottle? Tell everyone what they want to know. Did they spin the goddamn bottles?
I don't know what that
That's
means.
what they do in Coyote Ugly. They go.
Well, yeah, if it was like a busy place and like they were putting on the full show, probably. But there was like 6 of us, and we were all like standing 5 feet apart from each other talking, and we're like, "Can you turn the music down a little bit? Like we're trying to talk." This is
She's spinning the bottles. Like, can you just stop? Can you get out of here?
yeah. Can you just like? I just want like a Bud Light. You know, I don't need you to make me a drink or dance on the table. I just turn the music down a little bit. We're trying to talk. And it really it was sad. And so I wanted to share sort of the opposite version of your story to. I don't know why. But
Lucky 13. You just go there.
Check it out. Shout out.
Experience it. Just do it. It's fine.
How did we get on this topic?
We had both had a shared experience.
Yeah.
But how did we discover that?
I would like go there for lunch and
You
have
were
a
telling the
burger,
story.
and then I tried to walk in
Oh.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, because you used to live in Brooklyn.
Yeah, right
And
by there.
you
So
used
it
to
was like
live-
it was
Took
like
his
one of
wife.
my lunch
Wow,
spots.
he saw
yeah.
Spread Eagle. Not gonna show your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we walked out. We didn't get to go.
Man, beer's good, right?
Oh yeah, one more thing I have on here is that we've been thinking about with the site ways to find new breweries, and one of those ways is that we've been thinking about going to industry conferences. So there's one of the biggest ones. I mean, I think a cool one that everyone knows is Great American Beer Fest, but that's not really an industry conference. That's more for beer drinkers. So that's like, if you think about Beer Broadcast, there's 2 sides that we need to kind of appeal to. We have to get like anyone that's creating a marketplace, right? You have to get like the buyers and the sellers.
Yep.
Right. So Great American Beer Fest is where we get the, or Atlantic City Beer Fest for people that are in New Jersey, is where we get the buyers.
Yep.
CBC, which is a craft brewers conference, I believe.
Convention maybe.
Convention? It probably is more of a convention.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's like tents and stuff.
I used to go. You're bringing me off on other stuff.
All right, let's go.
My dad used to bring me to Postmaster convention every year. It's pretty sweet.
How wild was that?
I think actually pretty wild, but I had to stay in the room because I wasn't a postmaster.
Like 100 stamps in a row.
But you solved that problem a little bit later on in life, right?
I did. I worked at a post office. Yeah, I was a
could have gone back. You should go
a
back.
casual carrier. Do you know what a casual carrier is?
Are you like a substitute teacher? You just
Yeah,
like
that's
fill in?
exactly what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a when a career carrier goes on leave, basically you're the person that comes in and covers for them. So you'll cover for other people's routes. People get like really protective of the routes, so they give you like a sheet of notes. Yeah, I mean it's super interesting. My whole family, mail's our business. I don't know what to say. Like my dad, my dad was a postmaster. My mom was a clerk, who's the person that kind of talks to you at the place.
It's in your blood.
My 2 brothers were delivery drivers and carriers, as they're called.
All for
and
the
my
same
sister and I
company?
were both carriers, but we've since left the biz. All for the same company,
Okay.
the United States Postal
Good.
Service.
No rivalries. We don't want rivalries.
Yep.
You know who else worked for the USPS, United States Postal Service?
Justin Timberlake. Is that right?
Nope.
Who?
One of our most avid
Norm!
listeners. That's right.
I just guessed.
Yeah. He used to work for the post office. And what I learned from him, and then you confirmed, is that like you have to really invest in your route. You have to invest in it. Whatever it ends up becoming, you have to like know it really well so you can optimize for your deliveries or drop-offs.
It's very contentious though.
Meaning
So every route that you do when you work at the post office has a very specific order that you're supposed to deliver it in. Like house for house order, what they do is they give you a thing called the turn list, and they've built that turn list specifically to accomplish some very key goals. One of which is only turn right, because there's a liability with turning left.
That's true.
But mailmen that do the route every day for 10 years,
they're going to figure a better
you're
way
going to
to do it.
fucking want to turn left because it's easier to turn left maybe at one point to get to like a different neighborhood that's right there, but they want to have you go all the way around. And for mailmen, because like you don't have hours in the traditional sense. The way that it actually works is like your route is essentially timed.
Yeah.
If you do your route too quick consistently, they will give you more. And if your route takes too long, they'll give you less.
So
and if your route takes too long, they'll fire you. So when a casual carrier comes in, it's in your interest to some of the notes would be like, stop for lunch 30 minutes or something like that. And it's because they don't want you to finish the route faster.
Yeah.
Because if you finish the route faster, that person is going to get a longer route.
Yeah.
So they hold on to their short route. Yeah. So I guess what I mean is like that when a mailman is done with their day, they're done. So they want to optimize the route to get them as close to the amount of time they're supposed to be on the road as possible without going over.
I'm so glad I tipped my mailman $100 every Christmas.
Okay.
You should tip your mailman.
Hold on. You should know better. I learned that you're not supposed to tip your mailman because they.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you sort of.
What?
You sort of threw yourself under the bus. Okay, bring it in, boys. Go get him.
They love tips.
This has been a sting operation from the start.
Carriers in Lakewood, at least where I delivered. Shout out to you guys. I wasn't old enough to drink, but like,
you drank.
These guys drank beer at lunch for sure. I don't think they should, but they did. That's just like
questionable.
It's part of the business. I don't know. One beer is it going to hurt anything? I don't know. Post office got insurance. That's another interesting about the post office.
They only turn right.
They are a private insurer, so they can handle their own shit. They don't have registrations. They don't have insurance. They just pay it out of their pocket.
There is a reason they optimize for only turning right. It's because it's the safest way to drive drunk, according to the mailman code.
Yeah, it's true.
So, but one thing I was going to say about lunch and like killing time in between, when I worked in a restaurant when I was like 18 or 19, there was these two, a mailman and a mail lady that would come into the restaurant and they would eat lunch together. I was always suspicious that they were dating, but I could never prove it.
They probably were.
Probably. But they would always eat lunch together.
At the post office.
Yeah, it makes sense. They would always eat lunch together, and they would sit for like an hour and a half. They would have a table full, and they didn't drink at lunch. They had like iced teas or like Arnold Palmer's, like iced tea lemonades. I know I put the I put the orders in. I put the liquor in their drinks, but they didn't know. So they would have Arnold Palmer's. Their table was covered in Arnold Palmer's by the time they were done because they spent so much time just killing time at lunch. Like it was when you go to lunch, hour is probably like more than enough time for two people. Hour and a half minimum. And I never understood why or how they had so much time. I was like, I want to be a mailman when I grow up. This is the best job ever. I can take an hour and a half lunch every single day. Little did I know they were protecting their routes. They were making sure that they didn't have to do more work.
Totally. These career carriers, I would say their job is not that bad because you settle into a rhythm, you get it down. The casual carriers, and there are people that's their actual like full-time job for a long time, because you have to wait until a route opens up.
Right.
Those people work their asses off because they're not paid the same. They're paid per hour.
So no pension or any like the
interesting
good stuff.
fact about the casual carriers is they are racing basically through their like so the regular carriers don't want you to do your job fast. But then in order to make you not follow their rules, what the post office has done is they've made it so that the first casual carrier to get back gets another route.
On the same day?
On the same day. You get a double route. So
Is that good for them or bad?
It's good for them because then you get double hours.
Oh, okay.
So, or like you get 1.5 hours basically. Like, so if you get back first, they give you a second route, and you're just like, boom, 100
like
more bucks.
plotting
Like, yeah, this is gonna be great.
This industry sounds toxic. Oh
Yeah,
my
I was
God.
just gonna say they're really like pitting everybody against each other. Cool. I mean, it works, right? Or it has.
It is what it is.
USPS. Just letting you know.
Oh, they're great.
Oh wait, okay.
It takes a lot of work to get everyone their mail.
But
We've
I
gone
wanna-
too far on this.
No.
Sorry.
I have more to say. So I want to understand. So okay. We were trying to get a gift card for our mail carrier. Frank, what's up, Frank?
We tried our best, Frank. Wait, did we get it?
No, because we
tried our best,
were trying to be good citizens of the world, and the internet was like, "Don't you give your mail carrier any gifts because that's considered a bribe because they are a federal employee, and if you bribe a federal employee, they legally have to give you."
You know the amount of tips they get? It's insane. They get a lot of money.
Well,
they actually when I was a
told-
carrier, a casual carrier, a lot of times the day after Christmas, you are basically you have off because all the carriers come in because they want to collect the tips.
Okay, well, shout out to the internet. I got a bone to pick with you, liar.
And Frank,
I'm sorry, Frank. I owe you at least one gift card.
are you? Did I hear one time that your mailbox is a checkpoint? Was that you that said that?
No, a checkpoint like.
Okay, so this is another interesting thing. I don't know how long do you want to talk about this, but
I got nothing after this, so let's keep
another
going.
interesting thing is that there are, in order to make sure that you do the route in the actual order that you're supposed to do the route, they, in every N mailboxes, X mailboxes, whatever, they put a barcode, and you have to scan that barcode, and it goes into this device that you carry with you, which is the same device that you scan all the packages with. And that's how they determine whether or not you did it in order. So the carriers that are changing the order of the route, they have to change it in such a way that they still scan those barcodes in the right order. It's like very complex math to
So
figure out.
they're hacking the system
Yeah,
a
they're
little
hacking the system.
Did anyone
And
crack a new beer?
Well, we're on number 2 over here. I think you just got to number 2. Is that right?
I actually did. I did. Indeed.
Do you
All right,
want
what
to
do you
tell us
got?
a little bit about what you're drinking?
Well,
John's ready for number 3, by the way. I just noticed. So
Oh, okay. Well, actually,
I am not.
this is a marshmallow imperial IPA. It's called the Imperial Pillow. Oh, my mic's off. Sorry, everyone. This is the Imperial Pillow Talk by Magnify Brewing, made in New Jersey. The alcohol content by pint is 8.5. And let me see if it has any more stats.
You said something about marshmallows, right?
Yes, it is a marshmallow imperial IPA.
That sounds.
Huh.
It is delightful, and it was
Amazing.
made in Fairfield.
Do you
New
get a
Jersey.
marshmallow taste out of it?
Well, this is my second one, let me tell you.
Okay.
Very much so.
Huh. Wow.
Are you buying it by the can, or are you buying like a 4-pack when you get them when you find them?
4-pack.
Okay, because you said second, and you said second for both, and I was like, did you just buy 2 of each? And tell me where you found that, because that would be incredible if you can like make your own 4-pack or make your own box. That's the thing that should exist, right?
It exists.
It exists, but it's a little bit harder to.
It's harder to find.
There are some places that's how they sell beer.
Pick
So
your
they'll
own
put
4-pack.
like
I'd love that
they'll just
near
put all
me.
the beers in, and then they'll have like a bunch of like 4-pack or 6-pack holders, and you just put it in, and then I think some of them charge you for the most expensive thing in the pack. Some of them just have like a flat rate, and that's it.
Let's start doing that on Beer Broadcast. Let's
There's
Let's
a
go.
place in Jersey City that
go to all the
awesome.
local breweries and just make a bunch of mixed 4-packs.
I feel like that's the definition of a beer garden, though, right? Like I feel like
Yeah.
when I think of a beer garden, that is my beer oasis.
Yeah. I mean, that's... I have never seen something... It seems like all of these really good retailers or like liquor stores, or even... Yeah, no, I'll leave it leave it at that, are just not where I live or where we live. Like, my brother lives out west in New Jersey, like very close to...
Gary's.
Gary's?
Where does he go?
I don't know. Sorry, excuse me. I don't know where he goes, but he was the one who got me the other half beers.
And he got them out there.
He got them out there
Yeah.
at Pennington.
Yeah.
He like other half was like, we're gonna distribute to like 4 places in the state of New Jersey, and it just happened to be one of the places near him. He finds like these mix and match boxes of like craft beer. Like, it just seems like it's way better, or not better, but like way more available where he is, and I'd like for that to change around here.
If all the liquor stores go out of business, there are a select few that I hope stick around.
They're the ones who
You know,
probably
the ones
will
that
survive.
are the ones that are doing the interesting stuff, the ones that are making it good.
Yeah,
Shout out to Sickles.
yeah.
Sickles, I haven't been over there yet.
But that's-
so Sickles
they're like-
has a, for those
You
people
have
listening,
to.
Sickles has I guess you would call it bottle shop, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
It's called Bottle Shop.
Yeah, it's called the
It's
Bottle
called
Shop.
the bottle shop.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's got like 2-3 cases filled with just New Jersey breweries.
I do have to go check that
Which
out.
is absolutely insane.
They're in Red Bank, right?
Yep.
Yep.
That's so close. That's 5 minutes from where I live. I have to go. I haven't been.
Same.
I can't. Where do you live?
Red Bank.
Oh, you live. So you're like a minute from there. I'm in Lincroft, so I've got.
Remember that hobby shop though?
Hobby Masters.
It's,
Hell
the building
yeah.
is still there.
Still there.
It's almost
So
like
sad.
a historical landmark at this point.
If you're listening and I'm just gonna keep doing it until we get a hit. If you're listening and you're from Hobby Masters, I mean, like, what a legend, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of those places that when you see a place that does have to close its doors, I can't imagine how they could possibly get rid of all of their inventory without just like building a pile of it and like letting it on fire. Like, how do you move that store was filled from bottom to top, like 6 feet deep probably on the shelves of just different stuff.
And they left it in its saddest possible state, which is all empty shelves and like there's like a box for a remote control boat just like sitting in the middle.
Yeah.
It's
Just
like,
a relic.
come on.
Yeah.
I see it every single day.
Yeah.
I walk by it. Yeah.
That's something no one ever bought, by the way. The remote control boat.
But you would see it in movies and stuff all the
Oh,
time. It's
for
like
sure,
they were
yeah.
always trying to peddle the remote control boats, but nobody would ever actually buy
Yeah,
them.
commercials and stuff.
I actually really would love to drive a remote control boat. That seems like the least possible to crash. Like,
Where would I take it?
Navasink.
Park?
Thompson Park.
I don't know.
Just
You
throw it
You
off
know, you
the
could do it.
bridge.
Just attach like a fishing line to it and just go fishing. Did I just invent a sport? No, I used to go there to get frisbees because. So you know this. I growing up.
He was a champion.
I was one of 4 or one of 5.
Wait, I just made that up. You're a champion?
No,
Oh.
no, no, not even.
I thought you were one of 5
champion of my
ultimate Frisbee people in the
No,
world.
champion of my front yard. We used to so 5 of us. We would lose stuff all the time. We'd get stuck in trees, and so we went there probably 3 times in like one weekend to replace these frisbees that we would keep buying because we learned how to throw them really well. They had like a rubber edge, sort of like a clear plastic middle, and we would lose them all the time. And the only place we could find them was Hobby Masters, and we were like, if we're gonna be pro frisbee throwers, we need to be throwing this frisbee. And so that was the only place that we could find it because Amazon didn't exist. Online shopping didn't exist at the time.
Right.
Like, you had to go to a store and find it.
That's probably ultimately the doom, though, right? The doom of
Oh,
Hobby
absolutely.
Masters, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, anything that you could find in Hobby Masters, you could find and get shipped for free, cheaper from Amazon.
The internet started with Nobody Beats the Wiz. They took them out first. An easy kill. Then they finally went for Hobby Masters years later.
Nobody Beats the Wiz was like a big deal a while ago.
I mean, everyone took a whiz. I remember.
You just can't beat one. You can take one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat
Nobody's
it.
going
though.
to say you can't take one, but
Yeah. And PC Richards and Sons? Are they still
They're
around?
Yes,
they're still
yes,
hanging
in
around.
Woodbridge, right by
They're
ShopRite.
still around?
Yep.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And B&H?
Oh yeah, in New York, I
But
buy shit there.
they've all sort
They're
of like...
still good for cameras and stuff, right? Like
Mhm. They
But-
shut down for the Sabbath though. Yeah, even online, which is wild.
Yeah, I believe that. The engineering task to shut down the internet for a day probably is not... Well, it's not hard, but it's like not a usual...
you have to add it in.
It's not a
Yeah,
common
It's
request,
not
right?
delightful. Their
You don't
tech
get it for
group
free.
Is like jacked as hell.
Yeah. Although, like, why couldn't somebody buy something on Sunday? They're not going to ship it to you on Sunday, right? Like, but you know what? Whatever. I
can't
No,
do
respect.
it's Saturday.
You can't do
Oh,
it
the Sabbath.
Saturday.
That's right.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? I'm confusing religions, and my entire wife's family side is Jewish, so I should know better. I am in trouble. She's not
Shout
gonna
out
watch this.
to Colin's family.
Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
Sure. Here we go.
Cheers.
But yeah, I mean they
What's going on here?
They all I know, I'm working on it. They all wait, I brought so many other beers.
Well, I have an idea here.
Yeah.
And the reason I've given you 2 beers at this point.
I thought you were
Okay,
reaching
no.
for.
So the idea that we've gotten some feedback that people would like a little bit more information about kind of the taste of beers that maybe they could pinpoint a hop that they like. So what I've done here is I've pulled out a...
Did you talk about this beer yet? That you're drinking?
No.
You should do that.
Oh, yeah, I will. I've pulled out a single hop double IPA featuring a hop called Nelson Sauvin. This beer is called Mostly Dead, and it's from Alternate Ending Brewing Company in Aberdeen, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Of course, Scott and all the guys over there are awesome.
Yep.
Great place with great food, and they have like a cool. I mean, you can go there and like see a movie.
They're showing Something About Mary.
Something
I think,
About Mary
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome.
I forgot about that movie until I got the email, and like that's kind of the perfect type of movie for them to show is one that like you've kind of forgotten about.
Yeah.
You know, like Something About Mary was such a classic.
You know what I just watched the other day, and I've never actually seen it all the way through before? My wife was watching it, so that's why I watched it. That's not why I haven't watched it. But it was because she chose to watch it that I watched it. I wish I saw it sooner.
Princess Bride.
No, but that's what everybody always tells me. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
That was a great movie, and I never really saw it. I've always known of the movie. I mean, who hasn't heard that name before? But I wish I saw it sooner. It was great. And then that leads into a very brief segment of Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Heath Ledger look like brothers, if you've ever seen them together.
No, they don't. No, they don't. And what was that weird porn movie with Scarlett Johansson?
Pardon?
It was a...
What?
I haven't. There's
Joseph
so many movies out
Gordon-Levitt
there.
is obsessed with porn. He's obsessed with porn. He's obsessed with
Oh.
masturbating. And then Scarlett Johansson is like there.
She's a voice, though, right? She's not like a
No,
full person?
she's a real person.
Oh, because maybe
And she like tempts him.
Wait.
Yeah.
Am I thinking of the one with Joaquin Phoenix?
And she's like, why won't you? I'm Scarlett Johansson.
Her with Joaquin Phoenix. She's the voice in Her, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
That's not
right.
what you're thinking about?
No, that is true. That's not what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about Heath Ledger.
Can you say can you type in Heath Ledger looks like Joseph Gordon-Levitt? And
First of all, guys, never in a million years. But
but
No.
get
Which
look
movie?
Look no just say Heath Ledger looks like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I guarantee it'll automatically finish it for you. Yep, there it is on the bottom. No, go back.
It's all the way at the bottom.
Go back a
and
little
above
bit.
it is
On the bottom, right there.
wow. Okay.
and above it is looks like Johnny Depp. Come on.
Is this what I'm looking at here?
Look at this. What did I tell you? Don't worry, everybody. I'm going to put this up on the screen because it's mind-blowing.
I'm not convinced, and I think you're right. They do look strikingly similar.
Okay, I need.
I'm so pleased with myself right now. I don't even
Shit.
care if we talk
Colin.
about nothing else.
Wait,
You're killing me. Yeah.
it's the eyebrows.
I love dropping truth
The
bombs
eyebrows
on
are
this
different.
show.
Eyebrows are different.
Doesn't matter. Everything else is the same.
Okay, but let's run a thought experiment.
That one makes it
if I
very
showed
apparent.
you a photo of it's not a Jodie Foster Helen Hunt situation. If I showed you a photo of one of them, you would know who it is. Also, he was Robin. Yeah, if I showed you a photo of one of them, you're going to know who it is.
Sure. I'm not saying they look like
You're not going to
identical.
look at that and be like, "Oh, that's Joseph Gordon-Levitt."
I'm not saying they look like identical twins. I'm saying they just look related.
It's not an Anne Frank Helen Keller thing, but I mean, I could get them confused.
Do they look the same?
Elaborate.
They don't look the same.
What?
I will say
Is your microphone on?
Jodie Foster, Helen Hunt. We've done this before. We've done this whole thing. I thought
No, I don't think they look like it all. I think there is a younger actress right now who's out who looks just like Helen Hunt, and I can't think of. Can you type in Helen Hunt looks like and see who some of the suggestions are?
Absolutely.
The daughter,
Please.
the girl from Hocus Pocus that looks like Hilary Swank. Is that what we're talking about right now?
Oh,
No. That was a whole other thing. One of those two. Lily.
The
I think
first
it's
one.
Laura Dern. No, not Laura. Lily. Yeah, Lily Sobieski or something. Yep, that's the one. And they're not related.
Yep.
crap. I thought the one on the right was Helen Hunt, and then I looked at the name.
Shit.
Yeah, that's a problem.
They found the new Helen Hunt.
They
You
were
know?
looking.
The Celebrity Lookalike Podcast.
Yeah, I mean that could go forever, honestly.
That's interesting.
That's wild. I am kind of flabbergasted.
You see they're making a new Sex in the City?
I sure did.
Without Samantha.
Are any of the originals going to be in it?
She was the Blanche
Yeah.
of Sex in the City. We can all agree on that.
You have to know a lot about both of those shows to draw that comparison.
Who's saying he doesn't?
Well,
Oh, I'm sure he does. That's what I'm trying to suggest.
every show with 4 female leads follows this setup.
I believe that.
Yeah. The brown-haired one was the bottom one. Dorothy was Sarah Jessica Parker. And Blanche was Samantha.
The brown-haired one.
The brown-haired
in
one.
this?
The brown-haired one that was like kind of a prude at first, but
No,
then later
Sex
on.
and the City.
Yeah.
Sex and the
Aren't they
City.
all brown-haired?
God.
Isn't Jessica
So uncultured,
Simon,
man.
Jessica Samantha Parker? What's her name?
Sarah Jessica
Oh,
Parker.
yeah.
Hocus Pocus star.
Samantha Jessica Parker is not brown-haired. She's blonde-haired. And then the blonde-haired one is
Samantha.
Ruby? No.
Blanche. What are you talking about?
I'm thinking Ruby because red. No, your daughter's name is Ruby, and sure,
God.
her hair's not red. Her hair's blonde.
And then there's the other one. What's her name? The one that is Cynthia Nixon. The one that is like that ran for office. She's Rose.
Nope. I don't know who. I know Samantha Jessica Parker, and that's it.
It's Sarah Jessica Parker. You were close, though. You were close.
Who's,
okay,
so,
so
there's a Samantha in the show.
yes,
God damn it. Okay,
she's
can
not
we
going to be
switch
on the new
topics?
show. Okay, so
I'm so confused.
here, look. I want you to try this, and I want you to describe the taste of this beer, because this beer, because it is a single hop double IPA, is going to feature that hop in such a way that if you can describe the hop flavor of this beer, that you've essentially described the hop for anyone listening.
Okay. I've already tried it.
You have, and I think you liked it.
I do like it, yeah. And I went for this instead of... So this is Old Heights, Sunday Special. I wanted to drink this, but I've been drinking porters and stouts all night, and this is a coffee oatmeal stout. I'm so excited to drink it. We drank it there while we were there.
It's tremendous,
or I
yeah.
did, and it's extremely good. I just can't do another stout tonight. So I did go for the alternate ending.
You didn't have an option. I gave you that
Mostly
one.
did.
And I said you have.
I could have put it on off to the side. But it's very good. And so what am I supposed to tell you about here?
Yeah, talk about the hop. And in the meantime, I'm going to say that this is a mix between Princess Bride and
Zorro.
Death Brings Out a Real Monster?
Zorro.
Frankenstein. Yeah, so what do you think?
Pineapple? No.
Huh.
No, I think I'm just using like old information that I know one of these hops tastes like pineapple, but I don't think this is it.
Try to focus on the hop part.
It's like tropical. It tastes tropical somehow.
It tastes a little tropical.
Like a pina colada or something.
Yeah, but it doesn't have. It's got like a pretty nice finish to it. It doesn't have. It's like fairly rounded. I would say like that's an odd word. I always feel weird when I'm saying that word for wine, but like that's what this is. It's got like a rounding.
Oh,
on it.
you know what my favorite description was of the Ajay pie.
High lie.
Hi.
Yeah.
Man, I am running out of words tonight. High lie. Somebody described it as fresh cut grass on Beer Advocate, which, and they said it as a positive thing. Are you getting fresh cut grass notes?
Yeah. I mean, it has that freshness that's given to it by kind of the orange peel.
This is like word for word. Did
and
you write this, Beer Advocate? Because that's what somebody said.
It's got a freshness given to by the orange peel, but then also like the hop flavor itself tastes very
Grassy.
yeah, I guess. I mean, like grassy, the right word?
It's like earthy kind of.
Yeah, earthy. That
Yeah.
would be more correct.
Yeah, I mean, I think it made me laugh when I saw fresh cut grass. My brother described an experience at a winery one time, and whatever the person's called that like serves you the wine describes it to you.
Sommelier?
Sure. And I'm sure you're right. I don't know the answer, so
I don't know either. I think that's only at a restaurant.
That is the word.
Yeah, you think
Okay.
Okay. I feel good.
They described it as having a leather taste.
Mm-hmm.
He was like,
But
you know
can see
what?
that.
Sure.
You ever like taste something and then like rub the top of your mouth with your tongue and it has like a little bit of like a not a grit but like I want to say a word that is not going to make any sense at all, but strop. It's got like a little bit of like resistance to it, like leather would have.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. I can't think of something that gives me that. I thought you were gonna say it has almost like a film. Like, have you ever had Captain Crunch?
Yep.
Do you know like the like what's like?
Yeah, like it kind of coats your mouth
Yeah.
afterward. Yeah.
I don't think this is the same thing, but that's what you made me think of, and so I'm gonna talk about Captain Crunch.
Drinkers of pretty much everything love to talk about mouthfeel. You
Yeah.
know, like that. It's like one of the quadrants of tasting beer is like you're gonna discuss mouthfeel when you talk about it.
Yeah, which feels like a very.
Mouth feels like a.
I don't think we're gonna say the same thing. It feels like a very small segment of people that care about mouthfeel. It feels like
Yeah.
people that decided to taste and describe things needed more than just like the flavors, and so they moved into the territory of like, what does it feel like in my mouth? Like, does it feel like bubbly, or is it smooth, or is it heavy or light or something? Like, that's not the type of thing to me that I think is going to give a lot of people enough information to make a decision, right? Like maybe wine that matters, but like with beer, does that matter? I don't know. Like I wouldn't buy a beer because the mouthfeel is great, I think is what I'm
Can
trying
we bring
to say.
up some tasting notes for Nelson Sauvin? I think pineapple is a correct direction to go with this. And what I will say is like you're gonna have some bitterness from a lot of beers, and this I think is not one of them.
Yeah.
This a beer with Nelson Sauvin hops is gonna have a more rounded finish that kind of leaves a taste in your mouth that tastes more like the beer and less like a cliff.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Passion
what do we
fruit.
got here?
Passion fruit's a good.
Yeah, passion fruit.
I think passion fruit's
Would you
right.
like me to read the whole thing?
Fresh crust gooseberries.
That's a fun new word. Gooseberry.
Yeah, I mean I think
are
it's a great hop,
gooseberries?
and it's one of my wife's favorite. I just thought it'd be cool to like maybe this could be a recurring segment is where we take something like a single hop
Yeah.
IPA and talk about an ingredient.
I think we need to get a little bit more schooled in
We need the hops.
beer flavors and
Maybe.
styles. We should take.
I don't know, because I think part of what you're saying with the leather thing is that like the descriptions are so far away from language that you know that you can't understand them. What we can
Right.
do right now is escape that language
Make our own.
and talk about what's happening here, which is like
Okay.
it's not going to be overly bitter on the finish. It's going to give you a pretty rounding the whole way through, and it's like somewhat citrusy, fruity. You know, like, and that's what you're going to get out of this.
All right.
And if you want something that is more grassy, Nelson Sauvin beers are not what you're going to like.
Okay. Let me try and come up with my own language.
Sure.
You come up with your own language, and let's see if we can like come to a middle ground of how to describe beer.
Yep.
Okay.
Can I go first?
Yep.
Nelson Sauvin, centered, has a fruity taste in the middle, like when you're first tasting it. And then instead of how harsh ending, instead of like it diving off a cliff and leaving just the hop taste in your mouth, you're left with the taste of the malt and the hop kind of together. And it's not overwhelming, and then it kind of just fades away. I would say, like, if there was a person that was a beginner on IPAs, this is where maybe I would head first, because it's going to give you a little bit of sweetness without giving you kind of a harshness that a lot of people dislike in IPAs. Like when you give an IPA to someone that doesn't really like them and they go, oh, this really tastes like beer. Mm-hmm. Like that's what they say. It really tastes like beer. What they're talking about is they're talking about that bitter taste that you get out of a beer,
they're talking
like a really intense IPA, like the Jai-Alai.
Jai-Alai.
And this beer, and in particular this hop, everywhere that I've ever had it, including in the Unicorn Girls DDH Nelson Sauvin IPA, does not have that.
Yeah. You've had it?
Good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Okay. My much less educated
Did I do okay? Did it?
Yeah, yours is going to sound like somebody who knows what they're talking about. Mine's going to sound like
that feels good.
a kid who
I don't want to. I mean, I want to like keep it grounded.
I can't describe it any better than that. I think it tastes bubbly. Like it tastes almost like tingly on my tongue. It when it sits for a couple seconds, it almost becomes like frothy, like foamy kind of. It's definitely fruity, but that's sort of mixed in with. Let me try it again. It's weird. So I don't know how to explain this. I don't know what the right words are for this description, but it's like there's a flavor that's happening in the back of my mouth, and there's a flavor that's happening in the front near my tongue. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to keep drinking it.
I think that makes sense because there's different parts of your tongue that are kind of like receiving different parts of the flavors in the drink.
I think the fruitier part, the passion fruit sort of part, is happening in the front. I think. And I think it's because the carbonation is making whatever that flavor is a little bit more apparent.
And then the carbonation is like forming a wall behind it.
And then it spreads.
Just like bubbles, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, yeah, go ahead.
Because when I'm drinking it, it's hitting the back first. And
then
it's sort of spreading out across
kind of
my
washing
tongue.
forward.
Yep.
What's really
This is
cool
what mouthfeel
about
is.
having now he's super into mouthfeel. What's really cool about having kind of like making yourself make notes for a beer like this, like forcing yourself to kind of draw flavors out or thinking about what a beer tastes like, is that you're gonna like. I mean, we're drinking craft beer, so hopefully it's not just like an I like it, I don't like it situation. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more nuanced than that. You're starting to think like, what is in here that I like? What are we doing that I like? So that not only you can find more beers that you like, but also like you're spending in some cases like $8 for a can of beer.
Yeah.
Like you should think for a second,
right.
Just like what am I even tasting right now? The same way you would if you had some steak or something, you would just think like, you know, this is so buttery or this is so soft. Or
that's an interesting topic though. Like, where does the culture for craft beer come from? Does it come from the fact that when you drink beer, you get a little bit more loose and you just want to talk and have a good time, and that good time sort of translates to like every time I drink craft beer, I have a good time? Does that then sort of like become part of the tasting side of it? And then you become a little bit more sophisticated in your fun time while you're also kind of getting a little tipsy.
I don't.
Where does the culture stem from? Do you think? Is it from the I'm definitely getting drunk over these beers?
I think it stems from like there are people that make a thing and they're proud of that thing. And I think it stems from the breweries.
So that's a
the
third branch
breweries
of it.
are going to people and they're saying like, you have to try this. It's so good. And actually, if you look at even just craft beer in America, but even more importantly, craft beer beer internationally, because like craft beer is an American phenomenon mostly, but beer being good and being refined over time, that's the world, you know. But what's interesting about craft beer, especially in America, is that if you look at the numbers I was describing earlier for the percentage market share of craft beer, right? It's been growing recently. But that growth is all stemming from essentially a full decline that happened around the end of Prohibition. Mm-hmm. So you have like before Prohibition, there are breweries everywhere. Newark in particular in New Jersey just had like a ton of breweries.
Yeah.
There are breweries that were unique. There are breweries that are interesting. And then Prohibition hits and all of them are shut down kind of all at once. It's like collapsing an industry. It's like all of a sudden if people were like, there's no golf anymore. Just like all of a sudden, all of those businesses would close,
right,
and they'd just be done. And then when Prohibition's over, the only ones that open are the ones that have the funding to fund like a giant operation. So you get these really sucky breweries that take over giant percentages of market share from what previously was a divided market. And then slowly over time, we're going to get back to where we were previously, which is the thousands of breweries that existed pre-Prohibition that were shuttered overnight.
I think that's like 99% right. The only thing I'd argue is that the ones that you say are like the sucky ones that sort of like had the funding, they probably weren't sucky. They're probably really great. But what happened was that because
there was a vacuum, right?
Because there's such a limited supply, they had to start creating more. And by creating more, they had to make it appealing to everybody. So they said, we need to make this a consumer-grade beer, so we want the people who like... we need to basically attract people who don't like the beer that tastes like beer, but they want to, maybe get a little bit buzzed. And so making that 4% Budweiser, Bud Light, whatever it was, like Anheuser-Busch, General, Umbrella, if you want to get more of a buzz, just drink more of our beer. But we're going to make it in this place. We're going to make it appeal to everybody. And then they scaled too quickly. And
but my capitalist brain has to think that, like, it wasn't like when the Prohibition ended that, like, we were in George Washington times, like wooden teeth and stuff. Like, Prohibition ended and, like commerce was underway.
Yeah.
So there must have been some savvy business people who were like, hey, I got wind that Prohibition's going to end. So, like, me and these guys have put together a fund to start a brewery that's going to take the market because there's going to be such a vacuum in the market that we can take it over. I have to believe that while those beers may have started good, they were also backed by just tremendous amounts of money to take over the market.
How else would they get so big? I think the question is, and I don't, this is speculating without knowing the history, and I'm sure it's somewhere that we can read it, but I wonder if this is the type of thing where they were already making beer during the Prohibition, because there was obviously like the rum runners and there was all these people.
The recipes were definitely continued through Prohibition.
And like maybe people just found that, the John and Colin brewery or guys who were making it in their shed in the back, they were able to make enough to supply enough of the demand, and people became fond of that. And so when it became legal again, they were like, okay, I want that still legally.
I want that good recipe.
Do it at scale.
And I want to just blow it up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm going to give you the money to just go crazy with it.
So there's definitely people that took advantage of it. And
true.
Those are probably the people who capitalized on it and are still around. But I have to guess.
Remember that Budweiser commercial? Do you remember? Did you see that?
Which one?
It was this Budweiser commercial where it's like this guy, he comes over on a boat and like...
makes you feel good.
It was something like... Maybe it was an Anheuser-Busch commercial, but he goes into a bar and he's like... I'm getting this wrong. But he goes into a bar and he's just like, I have this great idea for a beer and I want to make this amazing beer. And like everyone's enjoying it. And then he turns around and this other guy's like, nice to meet you. Name's Bush. Mm-hmm. And then they shake hands and it's like, that's like their allegiance.
That's
like
definitely not the way it happened. He's like, my name's Anheuser. My name's Bush.
I don't think it was Anheuser-Busch, but I think whatever the thing I am talking about, the people are going to find it, actually did happen.
I think the point of that story that they created was to make you think that's how it happened.
The story I'm talking about is not about post-Prohibition. It's about like,
somebody was like, I've got money. Somebody else was like, I know how to make beer. And they were like,
we intended for this to be a 1 hour recording session. we were going to stop at 1 hour. We didn't make it. We did the opposite. We made it all the way to the normal time.
We got exactly an hour and a half.
We still talked about practically nothing.
Yeah,
that didn't change. We still didn't cover anything, really.
You didn't learn anything here today.
Yeah, we talked about beer a little bit. I had a thing.
We learned about some celebrities that look similar to each other, and I'm just gonna go and say it. I think I was right about all of them, so everybody's welcome.
Do us a favor if you're out there listening. Just write a comment. Just say you like it. Just click the like button. I've been consulting Ming, the podcast god, and wondering how far do we go? How long do we go before you build traction? Right? I'm hearing 10 episodes, but give us a couple likes.
Let's prove them wrong.
We're at 6. Give us a couple likes at 6.
I also
What do you think? How does that go?
I don't want to talk about it on mic.
I also talked to Ming, and he said
100 episodes.
No. He said, here's how you really get the people. You got to dance on camera.
You got to hang dong.
That's a different podcast. There it is. This is it. What is this called?
We were promised the chicken dance.
That was it. You got to stand up and do
I got
it.
to do the stand-up version.
So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the downtown John Corpese chicken dance. Get a little bit lower. There you go. That's going to get the watchers. That's going to get the views up.
That's it.
Now imagine that.
It was it was
practically
much better
dark,
on the floor.
Practically pitch black
dance floor?
dance
floor.
floor.
The dance floor. I just call it the floor.
I felt it. I felt it deep in here.
He's a seasoned veteran, so he just calls it the floor. If you know, you know. If you don't, then
in the biz they call it the floor.
GTFO. So he's a legend on the floor.
All right, we got.
Anyway, we've got to wrap this up. This has been.
You're gonna do it?
I was gonna. Yeah. I thought I was, and then I was.
Do it, baby girl.
I was gonna call
what do you got? This has been what?
I was gonna call it the beer broadcast, and then I remembered that that's not right. So I was gonna say, this has been Good Not Great, episode 6, and we'll see you next time.
You're gonna. That's my sign off.
Oh, go ahead. You can.
We'll see you next time.